So let's next touch on what best fits your motivations. So I have two people here, very different people, very different needs. So I would send these two people on actually very different pathways. And so the first gentleman in the green shirt here, it looks like he works in a call center. He really wants to get that additional certification on his resume. He wants to switch industries. He wants to make more money. He's going to pay for it himself. So I'm probably going to send him in a direction where he takes a shorter program that's exam focused and maybe isn't as expensive as some of the options out there where you might be working closer one-on-one with consultants, right? So maybe some of the self-directed options. And that will help him to get that certification on his resume. Now, he can also look to see if any of those have accreditations. And we'll talk about some of the common accreditations in just a few minutes. But that's another thing that he could take a look at to say, hey, this is the program that's going to help me advance my career or enhance my resume. So that's like, I want to check something off of a list, right? We have this woman on the other side here who wants to solve a business problem. She is interested in practical application of the tools, and she wants to see results. She has a lot of questions, and her employer will pay for it. I am going to send her on the direction of a consultant or a university program, something where she can talk to people, something where she can be one-on-one with someone. This would be a great candidate for somebody that also would want to take a program that has a project requirement, right? So whereas this gentleman on the other side wants another check on a certification, he probably doesn't want to complete a 4 to 6 week project, right? But this other woman or this woman would be interested in actually executing a project and getting feedback on that while she's doing the project. So I would send her in that direction. Now, do you need to grow your network? As I said, I've had times in my career where I really learned how important a network is. And I really want to encourage you also to build your network. So I want you to really think about those options available to you in terms of the networking, because that's where you're really going to find out which certification in terms of which company is going to be the best for you to use to leverage in your industry, right? Depending what industry you're in, that might be different. Now, I would say the gold standard would be an ASQ exam, right? That you've actually passed the ASQ exam. But to pass that exam, you have to have training. In addition, if you want to practically apply the tools, you may be less interested in studying for an exam and more interested in actually learning how to practically apply the tools. So this is a question I would definitely ask for yourself. And it's also a question that can answer the next one we have around quality. So if you're working on your own, you don't care about growing your network, then maybe self-directed works awesome for you and it saves you some money, right? If you are looking to build a network and to meet a cohort, maybe a university program is going to be a better fit for you. That's usually probably the best attended sessions that you're going to have. So you might be able to grow your network better through a university program that might at the least have 5 other people that you're going through this training with through all your different courses. Now, if you're using this to get a job or change industries, or maybe you want to grow in your current industry, my recommendation would be to go onto Indeed or whatever job boards are relevant in your area and go ahead and type in things like black belt, green belt, process improvement, continuous improvement, Lean Six Sigma, right? All those would be separate searches that you can do and see what jobs come up. So at the end here, we're going to look at some examples of jobs that have come up as I've done that search in my area. But you might find, hey, I'm in the medical industry in Indonesia. So your requirements are going to be very different maybe than what mine would be in California or Oregon or Florida, right? So it's important to go ahead and take a look at specifically at what certification they're requesting. Now, the other side of that is to use your network and to feel comfortable actually reaching out to people that you might not even know. So I'd encourage you to do some LinkedIn searches. I'd encourage you to join maybe some groups on Facebook or on LinkedIn to ask people in your industry about which Six Sigma programs are out there for you, Lean or Six Sigma. Again, I'd push you towards some of the alternatives. I don't think that we necessarily need to stick to the belt levels. So this would give you a chance to grow your network, as well as find out maybe those quality drivers in your industry specifically and region specifically, which may not be a traditional belt. So I really challenge you to reach out to those groups. ASQ also has groups all over the world. So they're somebody that you can also connect to and message and say, hey, I have these questions. Do you have any recommendations? What's awesome about those types of interactions is that they are actually giving you something of value and you can thank them. So maybe a month later, you send them your CV and you say, hey, thank you so much for recommending this training. I loved it. It was awesome. And here's my updated CV because of this. If you hear of anything great out there, let me know. I'm interested. Right? So there's some great ways there that you can leverage this to do that enhancement or that change in your career that you're looking for.